You touched on Easter eggs. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because I know that
Mm.
like a lot, like I think it's fair to say that you got a lot of notoriety, especially in the Call of Duty community, for things like pawn takes pawn and Easter egg
Yeah.
hunting and like zombies, etc. Do you want to touch a little bit about on that quickly?
Yeah, I mean that's what it's an interesting thing because it's like it's something I've always liked in games and movies and stuff. I've always liked little hidden things like that. And I remember, that's the only way really I used to know people like Noah J and Codename Pizza and Mr. Waffles, people like that. The
Yeah.
only reason I'd heard of them is because with the zombies Easter eggs Call of Duty, I used to love watching them solve it. And I never did it myself because I wasn't ever really that into zombies. I'd like a new map would come out, I'd play it a little bit with my friend, and then we would get as far as we could, and then we'd watch someone else finish it because I was
Yeah.
just not that bothered about it. And then with like I said before, with Warzone, when we were part of solving that first Easter egg, it was suddenly like a moment of realization of like, oh, I could actually like this is something I can do, like I'm okay at.
Yeah.
And when we did that first one, we were doing it on somebody else's Discord that will remain nameless because I don't like talking about it. But another community's Discord, and then like the way that Discord was moderated and run kind of got in the way of what we were trying to do. And there were loads of things where I was like, if we'd have been able to do this the way I wanted, we could have done it much quicker, we could have done it in a much more interesting way. So after that, I set up my own Discord and was like, okay, I'm setting up the rules, and I'm being super harsh about them because it's my Discord. I can do what I want. So I was like, right, I'm not having any kids in here. I'm not having people spamming memes and stuff. I'm not having people who aren't willing to do a bit of looking around themselves. I don't want the same questions every day. Like, people on this Discord are people who are like me who can solve it. I'm not doing this as like a public service to show other people how to do it. And there's kind of a small community, but like quite a solid community built up around that of being like, oh,
Yeah.
finally, there's somewhere that's a bit more grown up. You go on a lot of Discords and you see just constant spam, loads of like hate speech and intolerance. You see loads of like trashy memes,
Yeah.
people being idiots. And it's kind of, I just completely cut that out and was like, no, we're here to do something. We're here to talk about stuff that we like doing. And it's kind of naturally attracted a lot of older people, I think, which is a big part of it. Because, I'm pretty old for a content creator. And that's, I'm 35. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm 35. Yeah,
Had to
35 now.
check.
Yeah, and it's kind of, and like, I think that makes my community quite different, that I sort of attract a lot of older people, and some people have gone through the same thing I have, where you get really excited about a game and you think, oh cool, I'll check out their Discord, and you go in there and it's just a load of kids screaming at each other, and it's like, this isn't for me. And then you get involved in other communities, whether it's Twitch channels or YouTube comments, stuff like that. And it's kind of, I've been quite passionate about building something for the Easter egg community that is just the sort of thing that I wish existed before. So then we sort of proved ourselves that like the first Easter egg we had where we were a community was the stadium Easter egg. And it was kind of, we solved it super quick. And like, we did it, we worked out how it was working, we got guides up super quick. And it was like, I think that's when people started taking notice of us as saying like, oh, these guys have actually got like a system that's working. And then Pawn Takes Pawn was just insane. Like, if people watched a stream for Pawn Takes Pawn, we had lots of different spreadsheets going on, but people were communicating all the time. And like, there was this moment, Pawn Takes Pawn, the way it worked, for anyone who doesn't know, there were lots of different puzzles going on at once. And lots of videos going up every day that would be updated every day. So you had to keep track of all of these numbers changing, all this different moving parts. And then it all came together on the last day, where suddenly you had enough information to solve all the puzzles exactly the same time. So you had 6 puzzles, and the answer was a string of 24 letters and numbers that didn't mean anything. And it was suddenly like, we were all kind of, what do we do with this? Like, are we doing the right thing? We don't know. And then they sent us a clue. They put a clue out on a website saying like, oh, okay, you need the timestamps. And I opened up this spreadsheet on stream, and my entire community were filling it all in immaculately. Like, they were just all doing it. I hadn't asked anyone to do it. I hadn't planned for this because we didn't know what was going to happen. Just everyone had the same idea at the same moment of like, okay, we need a table and we need to lay it out like this. And no one was like spamming stuff. No one was deleting stuff. Like, I'd given people pretty much free reign on this spreadsheet, and everyone did it the right way. And it just all came together super quickly. And Noah J was solving at the same time as me, and he was doing it pretty much by himself. And it was kind of, you saw the power of having like a community doing it versus one person trying to struggle through it by themselves.
Yeah.
That like, we sort of overtook him. and ended up finishing it. And it was kind of this amazing moment of like, oh my god, like this actually, all this stuff validates everything I've been trying to do. And it doesn't always work, you know, like we haven't been first to solve everything since.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, when it does work, it's a lot of fun. And like, there's been a lot of times where people have tried to cheat a lot of these things. Like the porn takes porn stuff is all on a website most of the time. So people are finding ways to cheat. And I quite like that people stuck around watching my stream for us doing it the right way. You know, like we sort of, okay, people had already skipped ahead and got the answer, but we went back and we solved the puzzles. And I quite liked that people cared about that. So nowadays I care much less about being first to solve something, because nobody really remembers any of that stuff. No one cares about it. I'd much rather do it in this kind of way with like integrity and, you know, have a lot of fun doing it. So like tomorrow I've planned with who I'm going to be playing with and all of that kind of stuff, but it's very much like I'm not going to be too stressed if we don't get it first. Like we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a big thing for our community, and that'll be good. That'll be fun.